So in this situation, we are just controlling. We have the four midfielders aligned across the park. The game is developing on our left hand side, so the strong side of the park becomes that, and that's all very good. Denny is obviously in this case not pressing, not making any press, simply because he's right. In this case, the distance between himself and the ball would then make it very difficult for him to go and put pressure, leaving so much gap. So he waits, and he's doing the right thing. No problems. Then the game develops. Okay, watch very carefully. Okay, I want to stop right here. So this is where our mechanism, if you were willing to put it into practice, should immediately take place. Our friend Annie should be moving up and making a run so that he forces this player up. Having said that, there are other issues here. So Danny is slowing it down, maybe for the same reason that was highlighted before. But the reality of the situation is that he's not starting that. And the other players, including Dennis in this case, is not going to close down this player. And watch. Again, like Mando, he waits and leaves that player, which is now out of vision, completely unmarked. But that's not the problem, because in that case, the ball was not played to their left back. What Denny, not Dennis, what Denny will now say is, yeah, well, if I had pressed, um, our mechanism wouldn't have worked because the players were not doing what they were meant to do. And that's exactly right, because have a look. Our six is not picking up his player, and Corey is left 2v1 in the middle of the park, when instead there should be 2v2. And eventually what happens because of that, okay, the ball is played long, and yeah, almost a penalty, not really. Now I want to go back again and show you that our mechanism in this case immediately from the beginning did not kick in. Again, uh, Dennis, you're supposed to open this channel and immediately press this player here. And immediately the marking should be taking place here, here, and then further down, as I've shown you before, the 1v1. And he put under pressure so that he needs to release the ball earlier through the channel. But obviously we were not doing that right from the beginning. Again, a few minutes later, there's a free kick. Again, we are in the usual, we should be setting up the usual mid block, but what Denny sees that his brother is nowhere near the left back, and in fact he doesn't do that run because that he should have been making, because no one is pressing this player here. Our question is, Dennis, what what do we make out of this? Then if we then play, that allows this player to take a touch. Yeah, eventually we come, but really late, and this player can now do whatever he wants. Again, where was our mid block? Why were we delaying it? For once, we had a 1v1 pretty much set up. Again, in this case, no one was putting pressure. The ball was not covered, and there's another long ball which ends up becoming a problem with our back four in complete disarray and so on. Again, we are on the 5th minute of play, and I'm going to show you again the same thing happening. The ball's being played by the goalkeeper. Uh, We don't do, we don't press high. We don't put into practice our mid block. We simply want to stroll around, and that's exactly what we're doing. Um, Now, again, Dennis is very deep. Um, Denny is standing and not pressing, or better, I shouldn't even do that. I would say not making any runs from behind to catch players. We could have the 2v2 here in the middle of the park and we will cover it. But the problem that I see here is, I would say, psychological. The way we have started the last two games and against upfield, I saw exactly the same problem. Is the following. Have a look. The ball is not covered, so this guy can keep coming forward and has all the time in the world to look at what's going on. Again, Dennis is very deep, but the whole squad is very deep and stretched. So we got our six and we've got our right mid lower than our six. Obviously, Dennis should be here, but that's not the problem. The problem in this case is that the back four are really, really too far away. So we are immediately so stretched that we have probably from here all the way to the player, probably around about 60 meters. And that obviously does make it very, very difficult to be able to control your position. Yes, it's 2v2, but look at this pocket. And all that should be done. So the answer to this is that our back four should be further up. So Grima, yeah, almost there, but could be a notch up, and our back four should be here. Okay, and obviously Danny here. That would then force the 9 to step up and could be picked up by Aiden. When some of you asked me a question, oh, but the 9 is dropping and is creating the extra player, well, that's the same thing that we should be doing. But the problem in this case is that we are too stretched and we're not stepping up. Again, I wonder whether um, I'm the only one seeing these issues. And when people ask me, what can we do? Why aren't we getting a result? Where it's from these very first few minutes that you immediately get the idea that we are not confident and that we are just sitting. Fine, we can sit, but not sit so deep. Again, same problem. We don't put our mid block into any effect. We simply don't do it. We want to do what we want to do again. So let me play this for you. So they are going backwards. We are not stepping up fast enough. Not at all. We are again happy to just sit here. Well, then he should be moving up, but that's all right. Watch this carefully. Now then he goes almost, or at least the end result is the same. He forces a pass out. Okay. Yes, he could have made that run slightly different, but that's all right. He attempts, but again, what I told you at the start, the distance is too great. And again, the distance between here and there, we are still talking probably almost again 60 meters. You tell me, this is a question for the whole team. You tell me whether this is what we should be doing. Look how stretched we are. But further to that, again, Dini, what are you doing here? There's a player that you have to take care of, and this is Josh, I believe. That's Josh's problem. We are set properly here, and then, well, it we can't really see what's happening here, but Aiden, you should be here, or at least around this area. And the back four should be stepping up. So probably the back four should be here. But again, we are mentally not ready for the game and we are just waiting for the opposition to control. And in fact, this is exactly what happens. Again, watch. We sit, we sit, we sit, player behind not picked up. We've already started jogging. No one is making that run. And he has time and space to do what? Pump it long. Gentlemen, again, absolutely not what needs to be done. See? Pam. The ball is played and off they go. I also need to start talking about our disgraceful way we take any type of free kick. In this case, we have asked Aiden to take the free kick. That's very good. I want you to watch though, John, who is here. The question is, John is about to disappear, and he's got space here, untracked. He could be played the ball, and he could probably do a much better job going forward. But we don't do that. This is something that we'll have to implement for the future. What we like to do is the following instead. This is what we are good at. We just give it back to the opposition or just kick it out. On 10th minute. But this is different though. Has a positive end. We are very deep. Again, very deep. The whole squad is deep, and therefore, yes, I understand why Danny wouldn't launch himself there when we are not doing our job with our right back. So I understand why Danny was a few frames earlier telling people to step up, which they were not doing, but that's all right. So, and this is where things change for the better. Okay, we got another player finally that does what our false nine is supposed to do, and we are rotating, which is good. So someone else does that. So now the goalkeeper made a mistake, in my opinion. He played 1-2 and did put us in a situation where we are about to recover the ball. Mathematically, we will recover the ball because we are doing what we were meant to do every time. So we've got a player running from behind and forcing him to play the ball forward. Okay, so maybe he should have been running from behind, but that's all right. We still don't understand that. We still don't understand that the run should be made from behind, right? Not sideways, but well, eventually, maybe by me telling you every single time for every, we'll get it. And then he is dropped and picked up their six, and Dennis, in case rightly so, is watching out this area as per plan, so that's good. And as I always told you, with our mid-block system, once applied, it's very difficult for this player to be able to switch it across. So this is, I wanted to show you this because this is where eventually it worked. And in fact, he forces it, and we are perfectly positioned. Maxi was taking care of the right back. And in the middle of the park, we picked up their 6 or 8. Sorry, their 8 or 10. The ball is played, and we, gentlemen, we recover. This is because even here, right, that player was never going to receive it. And quite frankly, this is how it's meant to be. One thing though, someone again did tell me at halftime, oh, the number 9 is sitting, is dropping and providing, a support. And well, the reality of the situation again is our back four are too far away. You can't even see them again. Look how stretched we are. I have never seen you so stretched as in the last couple of games. I don't know what's going on. Of course, this player is free because we should be 20 meters up from where we are with our back four. But that's another issue, and we'll have to address that separately. A minute later, all right, we sort of challenge, we don't challenge. I'm not too sure. Maybe a foul, but anyway, we do not retain possession after a long ball. Look at this. 1, 2. 3, 4. Now, I wonder, you know, some of you ask me, what can we do better, Rick? What's not working? Well, this is not working. We are statuettes, really statues watching. You've seen how they went through us without any problems. Um, you know, I just want you to watch how bad it is and how we hardly ever have been able in the first 10, 15, 20 minutes to retain any sort of possession in the middle of the park, let alone put in a tackle. This is our first real chance. Some sort of a giro palla, some sort of. Um, quite happy with um, Biscuit's vision very often. Good ball, good run. Dennis, you can see that you are very isolated. Um, you're going by yourself, and there's basically no one fast enough to react. Understandable in a way, it's a quick counterattack. Um, Even though I would have expected at least Maxi to be up here already, um, and maybe Denny um, somehow here already, but that's all right. They're coming. They are coming. So decides Dennis decides to have a shot. If you had just taken the ball down a little bit further here, put your head up facing that way, and you would have had 1, 2, and another 1, 3 coming. I mean, coming in such a manner where all that needed to be done is for the ball to be placed across that way or that way. Real pity, because this is the difference between going 1-0 up and instead yeah, wasting a good opportunity after they hit the crossbar. Now, after Dennis's chance gets progressively better, have a look. Uh, just you know, when you want to do it and you do it, it works. Perfect. Okay. And so to for the others that run like that, yeah, it could be a little bit more behind any, but it's a very good run. We are marking. Um, we are in, well, you could say Maxish could be a little bit closer, and the ball is forced. And eventually, there we win it, and we don't do much with it. It's a bit of a pity, but at least we our mid block worked perfectly well. We are on the 16th, 17th minute of play. Best example probably I can show you of how chaotic we were in the first few minutes of the game. Adam, keeper, has just recovered the ball. We are going back into our positions, and as you will see in a second, we are quite good in what we do. We have a straight line of 4 with our number 9 dropping, so it's all very good. Now we are about to initiate a press on the central defender. Problem is, as you will see, it's a straight run. Again, I'll have to. You get sick and tired of these. It's straight. So because the run is straight, there's an angle here, and I believe that that needs to be explained again. Of course, the ball is gonna travel. One is the speed, which is not fast enough, and two, that run needs to go like that, so that this angle is covered. This player will not ever attempt to square the ball across, because the player is coming from behind and he can see danger, and the angle is covered. Because that run was not initiated properly, the central defender squares the ball across. But I want to go back just one notch to show you something else. There's a player here, the left back, and Adeni, you're supposed to be here, right on him. So already this player is out of, well, then Dennis is out of position. Their 6 is dropping in, and we're not even looking at him. Josh, you're just walking, and their 6 is dropping in. Who's gonna pick him up? But let's continue. Ball is played across. All right. Now Josh is in a way now taking his turn to press. He should be making that run from behind, picking up that player. But we've got Maxi that decides not to stay on his player, but just attack the ball. It's incorrect. Corey is doing his job. But there's another big problem here. This player that will receive the ball in a minute is not being tracked. And Aiden, that's your player. Why are you just, you know, jogging across the park? Now watch this. Okay, of course. There you go. And as I told you, he receives the ball that was coming in, that was not being picked up. And we've got Grima that launches himself as our left back and steps up. But there are 2 players that are free, so complete chaos. So 1 and 2 are free. Pretty bad. Now the last thing that needs to be discussed here is, again, we are really, really stretched. We can't even see the 2 central defenders. Grima has stepped up. Aiden is too deep. That's pretty bad. That was probably one of the worst clip that I could find to demonstrate to you how disorganized we looked. Again, another example. Again, the way we put into practice we implement our mid block is incorrect. We are very deep. Now, he comes, okay, of course. I don't understand why it always has to be Danny, who eventually got upset. But again, his run would be straight. It's pointless, Danny. If you do the wrong thing, you want to do the right thing, but you're doing it the wrong way. Again, it's a straight run. Again, have a look. I'll show you again. I'll demonstrate everyone. There's an angle here. Okay. If this player makes a run, if Danny makes a run like that, this angle will be closed. Let's say it's a 60 degrees angle. I don't know how else to talk to you about angles. That you'll be cutting off this passing lane, and you'll be cutting off the passing lane back to the keeper. But because you make a straight run, all this angle, it's open. So your run here is absolutely wasted. It's pointless. And in fact, and again, right, we are just waiting, right? There's a right back here waiting for Dennis to be marked, but we are not doing that either. I wonder, this player here, where is the central midfielder that you're supposed to be marking? I think this is Josh. Okay. Again, and then he has to, and this is when he starts getting upset. He keeps chasing it, but then you were chasing it because your run was wrong in the first place. All right, we've got the right situation developing. Hopefully, I wonder what about Aiden here. Is Aiden going to be doing the right thing? But I think we're missing Maxi here. This player is about to receive the ball. Again, we're not doing the right thing. Okay, yes, of course. Maxi, too far away. You're meant to be here. And this player here, who's meant to pick him up? We can see he's coming, but very late. Again. See? Aiden, sorry, I don't want to start swearing, but this is quite embarrassing. This is your player. This is your player. I don't know how to explain it. 1, 2, and 3. And Maxi should be here. but we don't want to do it. Besides the fact that, again, and this is quite tragic, um, because of all this distance, right, we are really getting stretched. So Grima is, yeah, supposed to be here, but our back four, they're too far back. There is simply too much space for the opposition to play the ball into. So I had Aiden done the right thing. And yes, I'm wasting time on these because if I were to show you at the club, we'd be wasting time out on the park. But boys, unless we understand that, unless Aiden, you're new, but unless you get it right, we will always find it difficult to be competitive in the middle of the park. There's a free kick in for Albion. We are very deep. So after about though, this is exactly after 29 minutes. So 30 minutes into the game, things started getting slightly better from there onwards. But look how deep we are. Very, very deep. Someone made a comment about them being deep, but I think you got to be kidding yourself. We were the ones being very deep. And this is just to show something. Again, I have to pick on someone. Okay, there's there are a few players here. Okay, that are sort of attacking and well, Aiden, you standing here. Are you picking up anyone, Aiden? Um, Question for you. Okay, have a look. Long ball comes, very dangerous in this case. Okay, question is he has time and space to control the ball and then have a shot. Aiden, this is your player. And the question that I've got, right, Aiden, for you is the following. Is this how you mark? Is this how you help the back four? Is this the task? The task I gave you was to avoid getting Jamil and Biscuit exposed. Nowhere near you were able to provide any type of support. Our game got slightly better from the 15th, 20th minute onwards of the first half. So we are sort of mm, going forward. Something that I don't understand this time is with John. Okay, there's some sort of a shot cross. Ball is played across. Okay, John decides to come out. Yes, he will miss the tackle, but that's not the problem. Okay, now I'm happy with the way Dennis reacted. There's an exchange. Good. For the next few minutes, we could have Dennis becoming the right back, and John becomes the right mid. No problems with that. What I'm not happy about, John, is the following: that because you feel bad about what just happened, you are just coming in. What's the best thing to do now? It's already 2v1. So maybe you just wait. In this case, you just made a long run. You covered. Dennis is in your position. Instead, we are sort of adding. It's chaotic. There's a free player here in the middle of the park. Aiden again. You coming in to shut him off. We had uh, Dennis. You should be here on this player. But I don't understand. Truly don't understand. But John, you're gonna go in. You're gonna go and you kick someone from behind. Um, Question is, this is where we lose our mind, right? So Dennis is took your spot because you decided to go and go in for a sliding tackle. Okay, you already stuffed it up. Why are you coming back in the middle of the park? And then made it worse. You gave away a free kick. This is an example on the 37th minute of how disorganized we were in midfield. I have to ask the question to Danny and Dennis, what were you trying to do here? Okay, we badly cleared. All right, it happens. Ball is played back. So we've got Danny coming. Good, I understand. Danny was defending, and now, the ones that tells me that Danny did not run, I would have to disagree. Danny had not his best game for other reasons. And in this case, question is, what is he doing here? And what is Dennis doing here? What is Dennis doing here? The ball is played. Okay. And there again, Dennis, what are you waiting there for? Watching for the others to do your job? This is your area of expertise here. You swapped with Danny. I guess that was the idea. But you swapping and not doing anything here in the middle of the park is just making it very, very difficult for your teammates. This is an interesting situation with Maxi having come and having swapped with Dennis. So good idea. Sometimes you can do that. But the shape, as you can see, they are sort of playing out from the back. It's almost there. I believe that they had got used to us dropping, therefore they knew they could just go ahead and play. This is where Danny here starts swearing and starts having a go at everyone, including myself, which is fine. And I've already demonstrated a few times how that was very often the result of the quality of his run not being anywhere close to what was required. So it's not the commitment, it's not the fact that he didn't do it, it's just the way it was done that unfortunately made him run around like a donkey for no reason. But so no one attempts to make that run for the time being. So but that's fine. Maxi does what he's supposed to, even though he should have been there earlier. I keep saying in the background, one of you should go. But what's happening is now you're going to the number 6 and certainly not doing what you meant to, which is just push this guy out from the back. But we again, we do what we want to do. Comes across. I scream and then then he starts getting upset. Turns around and says, why always me or something like that. Well, then if you were sitting here, you were waiting for someone else to do it. If no one else is doing it, it's also your duty to tell the others what needs to be done. Uh, well, sorry, not Maxi, but certainly there's Corey and Josh here. So suddenly that happens, and very interesting, right? It's obviously uh, the central defender now has space and time to come forward, which is fine, right? He's not going to stop now and try to play into the angle or playing back to the goalkeeper here, Adam. No. Um, and and this is where there's an argument, right? Developed between Danny and the coach. That's fine. Uh, Quite disappointing because at the end of the whole story, we actually recovered the ball because we did put into place sort of what we are meant to, and it worked. The opposition tried to play out, but what they did was just give us the ball back.